In the beginning, we were British subjects. We were adventurers, settlers, seekers of religious freedom, yes. But first of all, we were English. The year is now 1773, and all is not well in the King's American dominions. The King still has his royal laws, his royal governors and royal taxes. It is the tax on imported English tea that hurts the most. And so one night in Boston, Samuel Adams led some friends to a tea party dressed as Indians. Liberty. But it was only a hope, not a reality. The year, 1775. Already at Concord, Massachusetts, the shot heard round the world has been fired. In June, a force of patriots gathers on Breed's Hill and Bunker Hill outside Boston.
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes!
Bunker Hill was the first pitched battle of the Revolution, and we lost it. But the British paid a murderous price. They knew now, for the first time, that it would be a fight to the finish. Boston was now besieged. The British troops that held the city were cut off by land. Floating batteries bombarded the British positions from the river. Along the coasts, armed privateers fought running battles with British men of war. The American fleet could not hope to match the powerful British Navy, but we could sting them, harass them, and pick off the strays. But the war was young. So far, it was just a rebellion, not yet a revolution. But a great decision is approaching. The orators, the firebrands, like Patrick Henry and Tom Paine, have been heard. The committees of correspondence and the Sons of Liberty have done their work. The word independence is heard more and more. The idea of independence spreads and grows. Now it is the time of the Continental Congress meeting in Philadelphia. The time of John Hancock, John Adams, old Ben Franklin, and young Tom Jefferson.
The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
We must hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately.
There is but one course, a union, a confederation of 13 states, independent of parliament, of ministers, and of kings.
And so the day came, July 4th, 1776. Throughout the colonies ran the word.
Hear ye a declaration by the Continental Congress, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states.
Thus, in the midst of a war which the king might easily win, the colonists denounced that king as a tyrant and proclaimed independence throughout the land. No sooner had we declared independence than General Howe struck at New York with a big fleet and an even bigger army. Beaten on Long Island, we retreated to Manhattan. Defeated there, Washington pulled back to White Plains. Then across the Hudson into New Jersey, and then retreated still farther south and west to the Delaware River. On Lake Champlain, meanwhile, a fleet of our homemade ships was sunk by British guns. Then, just after Christmas, 1776, Washington surprised the British at Trenton and Princeton and beat them decisively. The war was a long way from being over. No, the war was not over, but we have arrived at a dividing line in history. Having separated from the Crown, having finished with the Empire, the flag of the United Colonies must become the flag of the United States. It is June 1777. The Congress of the United States enacts a resolution
that the flag of the 13 United States be 13 stripes, alternately red and white. That the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation.
Betsy Ross of Philadelphia may have made our first Stars and Stripes. Or perhaps her part in it is only a legend. No one really knows. But this we do know. The 13 stars were indeed a new constellation in the heavens of mankind. Stars of hope in a dark sky. From this time on, nothing in the old world or the new would ever be the same again.
We have not yet begun to fight.
On land in 1779, 80, and 81, the war flickered across the Carolinas. An American general said,
"We fight, get beat, rise and fight again. We lost at Camden and won at Kings Mountain. We won at Cowpens and lost at Guilford Courthouse. But win or lose, the British were paying dearly."
The summer came on in 1781, and Cornwallis took his British army to the Virginia coast to contact the British fleet. But the French fleet, allied with us, showed up instead. Blocked by sea, the British sought to break out of the trap by land. But Washington was there with every cannon the colonies could muster. It was time for another kind of flag. October 19th, 1781, Yorktown, Virginia. 7,247 British troops surrendered. The impossible thing had happened. The impossible dream had come true. It was 6.5 years from the first shot at Concord to the last at Yorktown. Against the greatest nation on earth, we had won the unalienable right to be free.